Hi, I'm Keith Butters. I'm the co-founder and CXO of the Barbarian Group. Yes, I have a terrible title, but what that actually means is I work with the design teams, the product design teams, our developers, and user experience people, and sort of merge all of those disciplines together in a way that helps create better and more impressive projects. Our sort of big strategy for the overall company is about provoking reactions, and as we've seen today, there's no place that is in more need of provoking reactions than retail. And the project that I want to talk to you guys about is something we did for Samsung in their in their home appliance category, which is a really difficult category to work in, especially when you're doing innovation. I mean, we've seen really cool stuff in places like Sephora and IKEA and people who already have sort of beautiful stores or beautiful places to do this stuff. Retail for home appliances is kind of not awesome. Anyway, this was a huge partnership with Samsung and our parent company, Chail. We're working with Samsung directly in Korea through them. And so we designed this. And I'm going to slowly get you into it here. But the challenge is really this. And I recently redid my kitchen and walked into a store like this and immediately turned around and walked out because it's awful. And there's no way to know where to go, what to do. You're at the mercy of good employees of the company. And again, people earlier were talking about the merging of people with these digital retail experiences. In this context, all you've got is people, and if there aren't enough or there isn't someone good in the room, you're sort of lost. And you do what I did, which is walk away and then end up at another store, which is not where you want to be. The other problem that happens in home appliances is that this is all you get for product information. People do so much research online now. They do, you know pretty much what you want to buy before you get there. So to change someone's mind in store is nearly impossible when this is what you have. And it's listing things that have branded names on them, so you don't know what a water wall is or for a dishwasher or a, I can't even think of some crazy feature that you read the branded name and you're like, that sounds cool, but I don't know what it is. Why should I bother changing my purchase decision that I already made at home reading CNET reviews because of these cards? And so we were challenged with building something that would change all of that. And there were more requirements built into that too. And something that Peter was speaking about earlier was showing products at life size. And we found that to be really important for home appliances, particularly because people really need to understand how this stuff fits into their home, into their life. Is that refrigerator so giant that it's going to dwarf me? Am I going to be able to reach the milk shelf on top? Those types of things. One of the biggest technical problems we had, though, was we wanted to present all this stuff in ultra-high definition. And that's something, one, because Samsung makes high-definition panels and ultra-high definition panels, but also because if you're going to have a limitless inventory system on a big screen at retail and it looks crappy because you stretched some TV image across a million displays and it's all blurry and no good, you've sort of defeated the purpose of getting them into the store to show them. And again, people do want to touch things, twiddle the knobs and all that. But the other problem that we have in home appliances is that nothing can be plugged in. You can't have food in the refrigerator. That fake plastic food stuff that you see at some places is actually tremendously expensive. If you're going to roll out across Best Buys or Home Depots or globally. So that becomes a huge problem. People want to know what a fridge looks like with food inside or how much clothes actually fit in that thing. I don't know what 27 cubic meters of whatever it is means to me. The other thing we touched on when we were designing this was it's large. It's a 11-foot wide, 6.5-foot tall touch display. But when you're standing up against something like that, touching it like this, you don't actually get to see 11.5-foot wide. So we used the rest of the real estate to actually help broadcast out to other people in the store so that they could understand that this was something they could come over and use. This was something that was actually helping inform them and educate them on the products that were on there. And it sort of served as both advertising and utility at the same time. And then the most major thing, and this was sort of a big takeaway, this has been pilot tested now in a handful of stores, is we learned that people really want to see how these things fit into their home. It's almost that home appliances are becoming a design decision rather than a utility decision. You care more about what the fridge looks like in your kitchen than how cold it is or how well it works even, until you get it in your house and it doesn't work, of course. And also, when we design these things, we try to build a construct for this, and this is something that I think all of these retail discussions we've been having today kind of touch on. We try to break the process into several stages. For this project, we used attract, experience, and convert, which means how do you get someone to come over and touch this thing? Because they can be intimidating. A big touchscreen is not necessarily something that says like, oh, hey, come on over and use me. Then making sure the experience is actually doing the education and actually delighting people too, because the more we find that if you can educate people in a delightful way, then they will actually convert to sale. And then convert is something that we're still in the process of working on. It's early days. I'm going to show you a big table. My last slide is like the worst slide to end on in the universe, but it's basically all the different ways we're exploring and testing on how to turn this thing into a convertible experience. So attract, how do you get people to walk over to this thing? How do you break the doldrums of the neon lights and stainless steel and 5x7 cards and bored teenage employees who don't actually want to talk to you? So again, this is what you're walking into, and how do you change that? And how do you make it a place that people want to go, want to return to the store? Some of the data we got after installing this in some places, people actually had more intention to return to stores that it was in. And this is just a quick film of what we did. We partnered with Method Studios and did a whole bunch of creative direction and design on something that would take that awful, not homey environment at all and make it homey and make it interesting enough. We tried to use elements of surrealism and things like that to make it as not like shopping for a stove as humanly possible. Interspersed between those beautiful sort of surreal and light feeling animations, which were also, everything in there nods to the products that are in center stage. So the silverware is referencing what dishwashers are available, the clothes, of course, are clothes and other things like that. In between segments of that, we have invitations for people to walk up. So a very simple, nice thing like, oh, please, experience this, come over, do that. And we've actually found that, again, it's a very small pilot study at the moment, but we're getting about 19% engagement. That's not like super hard numbers because the sample size is quite small, but it's amazing compared to everything I've seen in that sort of space. The next thing I'm going to show you a little bit of what the experience is like. We spent a lot of time making sure that this stuff was usable. One of the things that happens a lot of times is people want to do very wow, amazing stuff in retail and digital, and that tends to be what people come to us for. But if you can't actually make something that's usable by my grandma, my daughter, my wife, myself, like all these different kinds of people, it's a problem. And it's a huge problem because a lot of these purchase decisions aren't made by 22-year-old tech guys from San Francisco. So I'll just show you what it looks like and the simplicity that sort of went into how it's designed. So that's just a sense of what the experience is like. And we have found that just about all demographics that go in there are actually well able to use it and well able to find what they want to find and are actually pleased to be able to see things like food in a refrigerator or a laundry machine actually working. And then convert. Convert is the bit that we're working on. This is early days, like I said. But I wanted to show you one other component of this project that became really interesting, which was this whole change decor feature, which turned out, this was one of 10 features that this thing has. Turned out to be overwhelmingly the most popular, which is we designed a system by which you could actually look at real homes with these appliances in them. And we designed several different versions of what that home might look like so that you can actually see like, oh yes, that's kind of my home style. This fits into my home. Again, the home decor decision more than necessarily features and functionality decisions. So there's just a few examples of the same dishwasher in our sort of hand-designed homes. And then this, I'm finishing on the worst slide possible. All of the myriad ways that we've been looking into conversion from things like QR codes, SMS, a lot of this we've heard earlier today. We're still going through, again, like we heard earlier today, the antiquated systems of micros and all these types of things, in-store POS systems. There's a lot of research that needs to go into deciding which of these will actually work, and then also deciding which of these are really good for the consumer to actually then purchase straight off the center stage machine. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.